All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the All Sports, All Plays Network. This is ASAP in the morning. Hey, I've never been more excited about a morning show than this one. We got a lot to go over today, gentlemen. But first, let me introduce the crew. Right next to me, like I said, we got somebody better than Siri. We got better than Google, Alexa, and all that stuff. We call him the stat guy. I'm talking about my brother Dustin. What's going on, Dustin?
Good, Freddie. NFL playoffs delivered yet again this weekend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Then we got the guy that talks more about the Cowboys than anything. He's still talking about them when they being irrelevant. Our brother Jay McLevin. What's going on, Jay?
Hey, I'm doing well. Listen, you can't go through this much pain and not still be talking about something. Greg, yeah, you got some of that pain last night, and we're gonna talk more about it. Rob, you got a little bit of that pain last night. Fred, you got some pain last night. So there's lots of receipts to collect on today. So it's gonna be like Walmart. It's gonna be painless. I promise. I'm gonna try to make it as painless as possible. But how about them? How about them Bengals? And how about them Rams? I'm just saying.
I swear, you know what? I'm not gonna touch on that yet right now. Rob, what's going on, my brother? I mean, this is my first time doing a show with you.
Hey, Freddie, what's going on, man? I'm here to bring the energy. Jay, I didn't have a dog in the fight. Once the Bucks lost, I could care less. I'm just sad that my boy Tom Brady might be going away, but we'll talk more about that on this show.
You sure right about that? Sure right about that. Dustin, before we give you a hot take, Greg, I'm just gonna put you. We gotta do it. We gotta put you on the big screen. We got to.
All right.
Let me take this down. Hold on, let me take this down so we can give you the proper screen.
Well, it's always tough losing in the conference championship round. That's more hurtful than losing in the Super Bowl, honestly, because at least in the Super Bowl, you were there. Conference championship, of course, you were one step from getting there. It was just bad. Look, Chiefs got outcoached the second in the second half against the Bengals for the second time this season. Zach Taylor and those guys, they ran circles around Andy Reid and Bieniemy. Spagnuolo, he got out coached in the second half as well. Everybody, the whole coaching staff. Patrick Mahomes was below average in the second half. So everybody gets blamed today. Chiefs Kingdom is depressed. It's a sad day here in KC, but we will bounce back. We will be back in this game next season. We just gotta learn from it. It's definitely a sucky feeling, but we will be back for sure.
I know how bad that hurt my brother Greg. My dude, stat guy, want to give us all the stat of the day, presented by Dustin.
So, for the first time since 2003, we are going to have a Super Bowl that does not feature Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, or the 49ers.
Wow.
The changing of the guard, right?
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen.
I feel old now.
Yeah, that's where you used to seeing that. Yeah.
You know what? Let's start with the game of the yesterday. Even though how good the game was on the NFC side with the Rams and the 49ers, we can all agree that the Kansas City Chiefs going against the Cincinnati Bengals was the game of the day yesterday. That was the game that everybody woke up for yesterday to go see. It started off to be a blowout. Okay. It started off to be that blowout.
Yeah.
Kansas City got up to 18-point lead against the Bengals. I'm in the group chat. Many of us in the group chat saying it's over. It's done. Good night. This game is boring. But sure, that third quarter came around, and the Bengals did what they Bengals did all year long, be their second half team, clawed their way back into the football game to eventually win the game, 27-24. Dustin, give me your reaction.
I mean, first of all, you got to give a ton of credit to Joe Burrow, Zach Taylor, and that entire Bengals organization. I don't think anybody would have had Cincinnati going as far as they did this year, and I don't think many people had Cincinnati as a playoff team this year to start the year. So for them to do what they did and get to the Super Bowl, you got to give them a ton of credit for that. As far as the game yesterday, everything changed on one play, and that was that final play of the first half when Kansas City had the ball at the 1 or 2 yard line with 5 seconds left, and instead of kicking a field goal to go up 24-10 at the half, they went for the touchdown and came away with nothing. That was kind of the momentum boost that Cincinnati needed. And then if you look at the second half, Patrick Mahomes made tons of mistakes he doesn't normally make. He played like a rookie the second half versus Joe Burrow played like a veteran. He was just doing a lot of things that he typically does not do. And you can look at that last drive of the game, which Harrison Butker tied things up to force overtime. They had the ball at the 15-yard line with like 1 minute and 23 seconds left. 2 plays later, they're back at the 30 because Mahomes runs around in circles for about 15, 20 seconds and takes 1 sack, and then he fumbles on the next play and almost loses the game right there. If they would have scored a touchdown there, well, obviously the game's over. But had the Chiefs taken that field goal at the end of the first half, the field goal that Butker kicks at the end of regulation wins them the game 27-24. So there's so many mental mistakes that Kansas City made that they typically don't make that Cincinnati did win that game, but I'm going to actually argue the fact that Kansas City more so lost that game than Cincinnati won that game just because Kansas City made the mistakes they typically don't make.
I'm scared to do this because I know this dude, he been talking ever since he got on here. Jay, was this more on Andy Reid? More on Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, Lord.
Who has the biggest blame?
Man, listen, Freddie, listen. First of all, I don't agree with Dust on everything. I didn't agree with him that the Chiefs did this and the Cincinnati didn't do that. Listen, at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes had a QBR of 40 and Burrow had one of 54. So he got outperformed. He threw 2 picks and Burrow threw 1. They didn't kick the field goal at the end like he said, and they should have. So they got outcoached and they got outplayed. At the end of the day, that's what happened, Greg. And Greg, I hate to tell you this, man, but your boy Andy's not looking too good right now. I don't know. He's not looking good right now. The whole organization not looking good. You got, and if y'all don't know, you got beat by Tom Brady's son. I know somewhere in the genealogy, I believe Joe Burrow can be traced back to Tom Brady's lineage.
Probably.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying. Number one, let's look at the history. The history is there. You got beat by Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. That didn't feel good. You got beat by his son in the championship round. I can't imagine that felt any better. And now you're basically like the redheaded stepchild looking back in. Where do you go from here? How do you piece it back together? Like, what does your organization do, Greg? Where do you really go from here? I don't understand how you recover from that.
Just gotta get. First off, we need another guy for Mahomes to throw to besides Kelsey and Hill. So maybe
you got Hardman and you got Pringle.
Yeah, that's no. If there was if we can get Juju to come here, that'll be great. But they need somebody else to throw to. And then I'm tired of the corners need to go. I'm tired of our corners.
Running backs need to go.
More linebackers. We just need a good pass rusher.
But no, but before this though, I remember you telling me this defense was just going to be amazing.
Hey, Greg.
I said they got better. I didn't say they were amazing.
Real quick, bro. Hey, Greg, real quick, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You need to tell Jay McLevin that it don't hurt as bad as it hurts the Cowboys because it's not 27 years. You want to come on here?
Oh no!
We have won a Super Bowl recently.
Hey, listen. Hey, what Greg don't understand is, and what you don't understand, Freddie, is I am impervious to failure. I have failed many times with the Cowboys, so it doesn't hurt anymore. Greg is just on the cusp of what I'm going through. Cusp of it. So it's okay. And Freddie, with your Giants, come on.
It's nowhere near the cups, but Rob, we're gonna give it to you right now, bro. Hey, so after this win on yesterday, where does this put Joe Burrow amongst all the other quarterbacks in the league?
Oh, he's definitely made a case for top 10 for sure. I mean, just after this season, just imagine the previous game getting sacked 9 times, being able to pull out that W, and then coming out here with the heart to beat pretty much the kings of the AFC. Everybody knows I was calling Pat Mahomes the LeBron James of the NFL. The AFC was now starting to go through him. So for the Cincinnati Bengals, led by Joe Burrow, to be able to come in, capitalize on that victory, as you guys mentioned, twice, because they did this in the regular season, where it was the same outcome. Where they started off great, in the second half, just a complete catastrophe. So for them to come in and say, we have the winning recipe, and we have a leader in Joe Burrow, a good old Ohio boy, who's come back home to win this championship for his home, well, almost technically his hometown team. It's a feel-good story. And as I said on Facebook yesterday, Joe Burrow is creating his legend. He is creating his legend, and what a way to start off the story, right?
Greg, I'm not going to give you a topic. I'm not going to give you a debate. I'm not going to do any of that.
Hey, quick question, Freddie. Quick question. Have we overhyped Patrick Mahomes?
No.
Ooh.
No.
Wait a minute.
Let's not start doing that.
Hear me out now. No, wait a minute. Now, hold on a minute. Now, let me make my case.
Mm-hmm.
Let me make my case because I think we kind of have. And look, I get it. He's a great thrower. Nobody's going to deny he's a great thrower. I'm not going to deny that. The man can throw from pretty much any arm angle he wants to. But it takes a lot more than just that. Like I said to you, Joe Burrow threw for 250, 2-1 with the 54 QBR. And Patrick Mahomes threw for 275, 3-2, took 4 sacks with a 40 QBR. Now, this is a guy that you're saying is elite. This is the guy that you're saying is supposed to do all these great things, but yet he loses to Burrow. He loses to Brady. He's got one Super Bowl to his credit. Great one. Well, you know what? Aaron Rodgers has one too.
Brady's
Troy
a great
Aikman's got
quarterback.
3. Eli's got 2. Peyton Manning's got 2. I mean, I don't know, man. I think sometimes we put the word elite too quick, too fast, too soon. That's my point.
Justin, before you go, because I see you put your comments, I just want to say my little 2 cents on this. Jay McLovin, yesterday, I can make a case that we still saw a great Patrick Mahomes. And I'm going to tell you why. The numbers won't back it up. But what I saw, and this is what Greg was trying to say, is that we saw Patrick Mahomes spinning around, dancing, running around. His receivers was not creating separation where he can get them the football. So we still saw that he tried to put his guys in the best situation to get those guys open. But they credit to the Cincinnati Bengals defense, they was covering it really well.
And the Chiefs got away from what was working in the second half of the season. Patrick Mahomes didn't stay patient, started running around. Jerick McKinnon was the X factor the whole playoffs. Jerick McKinnon, how many touches did he get in that fourth quarter? I don't think he got one. That was what hurt the Chiefs. They got down inside the 10 towards the end of the fourth quarter. That was time for Jerick McKinnon to touch the ball. That was time for Tyreek Hill to touch the ball. Hardman, somebody. And they went away from that. They passed it 3 times. Had to kick the field goal. That's where they lost the game.
And I
got you there. That's the time to run Hardman on a sweep. Run Hill on a sweep.
I mean, you lost that game in a lot of different ways. You lost it with 4 sacks. You lost it with 2 picks. You lost it at the turnover game, and you lost it when you didn't capitalize on the points when you should have capitalized on the points, to your point. But here's the deal. What if – I'm going to play the what-if game. What if Patrick Mahomes, as good as he is, what if he never makes it back to the Super Bowl? Or what if he never wins another Super Bowl? Then what? Because it's not – I mean, you can't – you got to admit, getting to the Super Bowl is a very hard thing to do. It's not easy to make it back.
He's done something that many quarterbacks wish they could have done in a young, early career. I mean, we've seen a lot of offensive. For example, I'm not taking a shot at him. In 2016, at Dallas Cowboys with Dak, Zeke, and then Dez and Witten and all those guys, that's something they couldn't do. Even this year with that big, heavy offense Dallas have, still cannot be able to do. We see a lot of young quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, and those tight ends, the running backs they have, that defense. It's not easy to win a Super Bowl, but you're talking about a guy that has won a Super Bowl, went to the championship game 2 or 3 times. You're talking about went deep. That only have 2 playoff losses in his career, and I mean, and he's one of the. It's not like the dude is out there losing to Andy Dalton. I mean, that's not the case. He lost to Tom Brady, which is we consider the GOAT, and he lost to Joe Burrow, which we've said on this show many times that have Brady similarities to. So it's not like he's going out there losing to bums. That's not.
Well, he did kind of lose to a guy. Look, I don't care how good potential Burrow has. He still lost to a guy who really only has 1 year experience. I mean, this was really all in all essence. This was Joe Burrow's first year as a quarterback. Last year, you really can't count last year because he got hurt too fast. But so really, this is his first full year, and yet he couldn't get past, quote unquote, the elite.
But Jay, you got to realize. When was Patrick Mahomes coming out here? It wasn't really his first year. It was that first
second year
that he had. He went crazy. So the same thing, bro. I mean, hey, it don't mean to be a rookie, not a. We knew 6-10 games in that Patrick Mahomes was that dude that year. We knew coming in this year, Joe Burrow is that dude. So
I guess my real question, though, Freddie. I guess my real question is, elite has been associated with Patrick Mahomes quite a lot. If Patrick Mahomes never wins another Super Bowl, does it diminish that talk of eliteness?
Nah.
So you still put elite on?
No.
Not making it to the AFC game 3 times in a row. Like when you make him back.
Well, I mean, they also say that Aaron Rodgers made it there. How many times? And yeah, we kind of say, well, he's not the elite guy. He's a great guy. Or he's a good guy because he's a regular season guy.
I call
They
him
won
elite.
That's
consecutive
because he
games.
failed too much.
I think we're giving Patrick Mahomes way too much eliteness too soon. Too soon.
I will
Yeah,
say,
He almost wanted the word
Jay,
elite now.
Jay, in your defense, I will say this: if you can make him hit the panic button, in which he starts looking down the field too much, then you can kind of expose Pat Mahomes. And I think that's what started to happen. He started to see points go up on the board, and then he got nervous. So he's starting to force things down the field. As Greg mentioned, that patience was no longer there. He started looking to make something happen. And sometimes you know the saying, you can do too much. Just look at the overtime, the play in overtime, which he threw the interception. It was no need for that. You're trying to force something down the field that's not there. Cincinnati takes their time. They're like, okay, cool, we'll take the field goal now. So it's, if you can make Pat Mahomes, and that's any great quarterback, the Tom Brady's of the world, the Peyton Manning's of the world, if you can put pressure on them and get in their grill, it's human nature to panic. You don't want to get hit and you don't want to make a bad play, yet you know you have to put points on the board. And that Pat Mahomes fell victim to that. But to say he's not elite, I would then question you to name 5 quarterbacks that's better than him.
I think Peyton Manning was better than him.
We talking about
I'll tell you why. No, it's real simple. It's real simple. Look, you can't deny that Patrick Mahomes is a very athletic guy. He's extremely athletic, but he did not redefine the way they play the quarterback position in terms of how he read the defense. No, the audibles and how he read the defense. I'm telling you right now, Peyton Manning was way better and light years ahead of him. And if you don't believe that, you don't watch football.
Dustin, please,
you don't watch football if you don't
educate our brother Jay McGloin.
Oh, by the way, Peyton Manning has 2 Super Bowls, and last time I checked, your boy's still trying to get his second. And he lost to a guy in his rookie year.
He's only been on the league for 5 years.
Okay, I'm just saying, but he lost to a guy in his rookie year. He still lost. Put some respect on it. He lost to a quarterback in his first year.
Jay, hold on. We go get this to the stat guy. Stat guy, please put some clarity on this, please.
The fact that you even consider saying that Patrick Mahomes is not elite is actually kind of a slap in the face to quarterbacks in the NFL.
Nah,
he's 10-3 in the playoffs since he's become a starter. 28 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, with 2 of those interceptions coming yesterday. He also threw his first career interceptions in the conference championship game yesterday. So he's got 15 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in the conference championship game. That's elite no matter what you say, no matter how you look at it. Those are elite numbers where if he throws 12 touchdown passes in the playoffs next year, he moves into second place all time among playoff touchdown passes behind Tom Brady. And he will have done that. He will have done that in 6 years, as opposed to other people doing that in 15 years. So they say that he's not elite because of one game.
I did his stats. Okay, I get the numbers, Dustin, and you're really good at reading numbers. And I don't deny that you're really good at reading numbers. I get that. I get that aspect of it. But there's more to it than just numbers. There's also what I like to call the intangibles. They're things that aren't. No, stop. Because you're really good at reading numbers, and I like that about you. I like that you're a human calculator. I get that. But what the calculator can't always give you is the intangibles that are going on in the field and the way they read the defenses and the way they redefine how the defenses are played and how the offenses reacts to those defenses. And that's what Peyton Manning brought to the game. It's the way that he was able to audible and continue to play the game. And let's not mention that Joe Burrow and Arrowhead is having problems with his hearing. And the last part of the game, he was calling it on his own. No, it wasn't this game. It was the Tennessee game that he did that. And he was calling it on his own. I'm just saying, you're seeing guys who have intangibles that maybe Patrick Mahomes, as good as he is athletically and as good as his stats are, maybe doesn't always have.
He has the intangibles. He had 10 incompletions. I
don't think he does.
He had 10 incompletions in the second half.
I don't think he does. I don't think he has the patience. I don't think he, like you said earlier, and I think Rob made a real good point at it. He tends to throw the ball down the field when he gets around.
You didn't answer Rob's question. Jay, you didn't answer Rob's question. Rob said, name him 5 quarterbacks that's more elite. And we're not talking about no Peyton Manning. We're talking about right now.
Well, if you're going to look at right now, it's too early to say that right now.
Oh, please.
It's too early. It's too early. No, it's too early. It's too early. I mean, I get it. If you're looking at specifically right now, but what's the word elite mean? I mean, we talk about elite all time. So really, okay, if you want to say, okay, if we're talking about just right now in the game, okay, yeah, then you can use the word elite. Okay, if that's how we're phrasing it, if that's how you're phrasing it, okay. Because how you phrase it. If you're talking about right now, I'll give that to him.
It took Peyton Manning 6 years to get his first playoff win. So let's slow down a little bit.
But he got him, Bill, didn't he?
And he had 11. He had 11 playoff losses.
Greg, he got 2 of them.
Playoff losses. 11 playoff losses. Yeah.
Mahomes had 10 incompletions in the second half yesterday. Six of his 10 incompletions were on drops that hit his receivers right in the hands. Three of those 6 drops were first down plays on third down. So it's not like Mahomes wasn't reading the defense. Mahomes put the ball where it was supposed to be. Kelsey had. I know one thing when at the end of the game when the Rams got the last interception, that wasn't on the tip ball. I understand that, but I'm just saying. I just want to make sure you understand that. Because I just want to make sure. I didn't know if we were clarifying. Okay. No, but I'm just saying. Mahomes, I got you. I'm with you. We here. Mahomes read the defense perfectly fine in the second half. It's just that his receivers didn't give him any help in that third and into the fourth quarter. Well, damn it. They don't always give you help, do they? I'm just saying. Though, maybe that's where the intangibles come in. Hey, maybe that's where the intangibles come in. I'm just saying. Maybe that's where the intangibles come in.
Hey, Jay, what did Mahomes do to you?
Hey, just take your L. Just take your damn L. Take your L, lump it, and leave it, and then fight another day.
I know this.
This is what Randy said in the comments. He said, "You're making people doubt all credibility right now. You're better than this, Jay. I just know." And then he said, "This man has been to 4 straight AFC championships."
4.
Hey, Jim Kelly went to 4. He went to 4 straight Super Bowls. Ask Jim Kelly how many rings he got. Just saying.
I have a serious question.
No, I'm just saying 4 straight Super Bowls with Marv Levy with the Buffalo Bills, and ask him how many he came away with.
I have a serious question, but anybody can answer this. So we preach weekly, daily around this time of year when there's coaching jobs available, and we always try to get Eric Bieniemy a job. So with this loss, do you think this would be another excuse, another reason why he would not get a job this year?
Eric's being groomed for that KC job. I really believe he's being groomed for that KC job.
It's definitely gonna look bad on Eric. Got getting out coached like that in the second half. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. We got even, Chiefs fans, blaming them, for the loss. So it's definitely not going to help. He would have been better off making the Super Bowl. I think if they finish that game and he makes the Super Bowl, then Bieniemy has a better chance of getting one of these jobs. But the way that it ended, he's probably not going to get one now.
Yeah, I mean, we already know the first factor he has going against him.
Yep.
So now at this point, it's more wood to the fire. It's more wood to the fire.
Yep.
All right. So since we got that part out of here, and and just let everybody know, Patrick Mahomes is an elite. Don't put him in the top 5 conversation anymore. Or any of that. He's got the juice. He's right there with Daniel Jones. He's gone. So let everybody know. That's coming from Jay McLovin. But
I get Jay's argument. I get his argument as far as you have to put blame on Patrick Mahomes for yesterday. He deserves a ton of the blame just off the strength. People are gonna say, well, the defense couldn't stop him in the second half. With a quarterback of his status, he was supposed to keep scoring. Even if you're getting him down the field and kicking field goals, you have to put points on the board. But then to go ludicrous and say he's not elite, you can't discredit what he's done. Remember, he's been in the league, 5 years? He didn't start his first year. He didn't take off to that second year, and he had, 50 touchdowns that year. So you can tell in the touchdown interception ratio, teams start to figure you out. That's what these guys get paid millions of dollars to do, to scout, to come up with game plans, to go against elite quarterbacks. And to show that he's elite, you have to game plan against Pat Mahomes. That's not a guy you just go in there and say, we can beat this dude. No, you have to plan. You have to come up with ways to contain him because he can use his legs and get outside that pocket. So let's not forget what he's done, but let's also call it what it is. Call it ace of ace. He deserves a lot of the blame for what happened yesterday against the Bengals.
He do, and we all agree.
Yeah, he does.
But we can't say this dude isn't elite.
Elite, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is. He
Like I
is.
said, if you want to use it in the as the present day meaning current active quarterbacks, okay, I give you that.
We can't all that. You know why?
But I'm not saying all time.
Jay,
I'm not saying all time.
So you know why we can't? You know why we can't do all time still? Because how long have Dustin? You the stat guy. How long has Aaron Rodgers been in the league?
17 years.
And when was the last time he won the Super Bowl?
12 years ago and counting.
And I'm pretty sure the last 3 to 4 years, people kept saying put Aaron Rodgers in that same position of elite of all-time greats until starting this year. So guess what? I take a guy who's only been in the league 4 to 5 years who has accomplished what he's accomplished. I'm still putting him in that conversation.
Of course you would, Freddie. You're already getting your Kansas City hat mailed to you. It's all good, brother.
Jay, to your point, though.
Hey, listen, I know, man. Hey, Aaron Rodgers, he was yesterday's ice cream. So you're going to go ahead and get the new flavor in.
Well,
I got you, man. Don't worry about it. Hey, they got the hat on the way for you, man.
Okay. Down in Dallas in 27 years.
Look at him. Now he's going back to Dallas. You're right. But I'm one team. You got like a whole plethora. I think you got the whole 32 teams in your roster. You just brought the flavor of the week. But I love you, Freddie. Freddie, I love you, though, Freddie. Freddie, I love you.
Jay, to your point, though, if he doesn't win another ring, that doesn't mean he's not elite, because unless Kansas City fixes their defense, he may not win another ring. But that doesn't mean he's not going to put up elite numbers. Look at how many games that he scored 42 points this year, but the defense has given up 35 to 40. You, as a quarterback, I don't care how good you are, you should not be counted on to score 35 to 40 points every single week. So unless they actually fix their defense and make it respectable, he may not win another Super Bowl again. But that doesn't mean he's not elite, because he's doing his part on offense. It's the other side of the ball.
This is the same guy, by the way, that said Patrick Mahomes was 60% of the blame for the loss. Dustin, I know that was the stat you gave me.
Yeah, he is. No, he is.
No, you're talking out both sides of your mouth right now. You're talking out both sides. Now listen, like Freddie doesn't do, you got to pick one way and stick with it. Don't give me one and then give me the other, because I feel like you're trading me in for the flavor of the month.
Jay,
Don't do it, dude. Don't do it.
He is. Jay, he is 60% to blame for the loss yesterday for the way he played in the.
Then own it. Then don't say.
I did. I said for yesterday, he is to blame for the loss because he played out of character yesterday. But you look at how many games. Look at the Buffalo game. If he would have lost that game to Buffalo instead of beating Buffalo, that doesn't mean he lost the game. It would have been the defense gave up 42 points, not him. He has to shoulder the blame from yesterday. And I said he deserves 60% of the blame from yesterday because he played out of Patrick Mahomes' character yesterday. But if he plays the way he did against Buffalo, if he plays the way he did against Pittsburgh, and yet they still lose that game, it would not fall on him. It would fall on the defense for not doing their job.
All right. Let's move to the other game as of yesterday. And we're talking about the San Francisco 49ers and the Rams. Great game, by the way. Both games was great. The Rams pulled off the victory 20-17. 20-17. And the 49ers contained Aaron Donald most of the game until the end when it mattered. Then he broke loose, got applied pressure to Jimmy G, got Jimmy G to throw it away, bounced off his player's hand, interception, game. Give me your reaction to this game on yesterday, Dustin.
Hold on, I'm just putting something in the group chat in a second, but hold on.
All right, Rob, run with it, brother.
Yeah, so if anyone ever says Matthew Stafford is not elite anymore, needs to check themselves at the door, because he proved that Detroit was holding him back, not himself. Matthew Stafford deserves every bit of the accolades he's earned this year. He deserves every bit of the respect that he's earned this year. And for him to basically win more playoff games this year than the Detroit Lions have won in 64 years as a franchise goes to show you how bad that organization was when he was in Detroit, yet he still got the Lions to the playoffs twice. So he obviously did something right when he was in Detroit. Now you finally go to a team that has a competent owner, a general manager that wants to win, and you give him the two things that he never had in Detroit. He never had a running game, and he never had an offensive line to protect him in Detroit, and he finally has both of those this year, and now look at what he's done. People are finally starting to see how good of a quarterback Matthew Stafford was, and all that. When he was in Detroit, all they saw was the stat line, and they said, oh, the stat line looks great, the stat line looks great, but the wins aren't there. Well, Detroit's been a dumpster fire since Barry Sanders left, basically, and there's a reason for that. Stafford deserves a ton of credit for what he's done, and he's a big reason why the Rams are in the Super Bowl because of the way he's played with the game on the line the last 2 weeks.
All right, Jay.
Yeah, honestly, they do exactly what I thought they needed to do. They took away the run from San Francisco through their defense. Matt had a great game. He didn't turn the ball over too much. He played, he threw the ball quite well, got all the guys involved. And Debo wasn't really a factor. Elijah Miller wasn't really a factor. And that's why they won that game. Sean McVay had that team prepped and ready to go for this 49ers. And as you can see, that 6-game win streak got snapped. And, that was the game. They hit all the keys that they needed to do. Great defense and followed by good offense. And they executed.
Rob.
I want to go on a different route.
Go
give
with
a shout out to Odell Beckham Jr.
Preach.
Man, you heard the critics say that the man was a diva. You heard him say that his career was on the decline, and that
he was a cancer.
And him and Baker just could not get it together. And everybody blamed him, not Baker, not the guy that didn't even make it to the playoffs this year. They wanted to blame Odell Beckham Jr. And for him to have the game that he had in the NFC Championship game, 9 receptions, 113 yards in the air. I mean, the man was out there playing possessed. Him and Cooper Kupp was definitely a 1-2 punch that couldn't be stopped. Shout out to Cooper Kupp, proving that he is the receiver that everybody thought he was. That man is a monster. It's just something about that first stutter step. It's becoming a legendary move for him, the way that he's able to separate space. But I just love that Odell Beckham Jr. was able to tell all the haters, y'all can kiss him where you can, and that he's going to the Super Bowl. And it was just beautiful to see. He's in Hollywood. You know how Hollywood loves a great star, and the stars were definitely shining with the Los Angeles Rams. Shout out to the Rams, who went all in, and so far is looking like they did a great game.
Hey, Greg, on the 49ers side, we're going to give them credit as well because they hung in that game, played a lot tougher than probably a lot of people expected them to do, this weekend. And to me, they've had a hell of a season. I really think they need to reconsider about moving along from Jimmy Garoppolo because he clearly played, he played great basketball, football. And he went on the road and beat Aaron Rodgers. He beat the Rams on yesterday as well. And they beat the Cowboys. So I really think they need to reconsider that by just moving on from it. But who's the biggest blame on yesterday, the 49ers?
Well, Jimmy G wasn't good in that fourth quarter as well as, he did throughout the game up until that point. That fourth quarter, when it was time, it's like, okay, Jimmy, we need you to make some throws now so we can, finish this off. He couldn't do it. The San Francisco defender that dropped the interception, I can't remember his name right now. Tart. Yeah. That definitely changed. That changed the game because if he picks it there, I think the 49ers at least get another field goal out of that. So That was a big play. But look, nobody expected the 49ers to be in the NFC Championship game after the way the season had went. They got in as a 6 seed. Everybody was expecting, okay, they'll beat Dallas, and all that, but they're not going to do nothing, after that. But they proved everybody wrong. Deebo Samuel is the best player they have on offense, and he's going to get paid. And I do agree that they should stay. If you can't get Russell Wilson, stick with Jimmy G for one more time, because I think they'll be okay with Jimmy G for one more season. Now, of course, if they can get Russ, then hey, do it. But Jimmy G should be able to keep his job for at least one more season.
Oh, I got a hot take, and I was gonna wait to real talk, but I'm gonna let it go.
That's if
this is a hot take, y'all.
Lets him go to San Francisco.
I'm ready for this.
And I'm gonna see if I can get Jay McGlover to slam his hand down like Greg. If I was the Dallas Cowboys, I would take Jimmy G over Dak Prescott. Dak.
No, I wouldn't do it.
No, hey, it was nice hanging out with you guys, man. Hey, listen. It was nice. It was good. Hey, I appreciate it.
You probably should have said that take.
Hey, listen, that take was about as ridiculous as I don't know. I don't know where we even go with that.
Let me explain.
Okay.
You got, hey, Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
Dak Prescott in his career is 1-3 in the playoffs. 1-3. Jimmy G 5-2.
No, Jimmy G is covered up by that defense, and Deebo. Deebo is 5-2. That defense is 5-2. Jimmy is lucky. Listen, if you think Jimmy is 5-2, you don't watch football, because that dude gets covered. His discrepancies have always been covered up by that good defense, that good run game, and hell of a Deebo.
It's hard to believe he sat behind Tom Brady for all them years.
Hey,
he didn't learn anything.
Hold on, Rob. When it matters. This is a guy who, hey, bro, like, let's not sit up here and say, oh, because he's got a good defense. Correct me if I'm wrong. Dallas had a good defense this year. Am I right or wrong?
Well, what is Jimmy G's stat line? Let's go to Siri. Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. What was?
Yeah, what was?
I'm asking the question. Did Dallas have a great defense this year?
Dallas had a pretty decent defense.
Yeah, it was good.
Didn't they have one of the best offensive weapons in the game of football this year?
Yeah, but I feel like the 49ers win in spite of Jimmy G. He doesn't win them games. He doesn't. He barely throws the ball. And when he decided to throw the ball yesterday, they lost. They lost. He tried to throw the ball, and they lost.
Please.
What was that?
That guy, please interject, please.
The 49ers are 22 games above 500 when Jimmy G starts. They're 18 games under when he doesn't start. That's a telling story right there. Yes, he's not elite, but Jimmy Garoppolo is perfect for that 49er system. He's not going to be counted on to win you games with his arm, but he's going to play within the system, and he knows what works well. You send him anywhere else, he's not going to have the same success he has in San Francisco, because it's going to be an entirely different system. That's why the 49ers need to hang on to him at least for one more year, because he's shown that when he plays, the team wins, and when he doesn't play, the team doesn't win.
Thank you, Stat Guy, because that's what I'm trying to say. You put him in Dallas, he's not going to get the same results as a Dak Prescott get.
You put him in Tennessee, though.
Dak is not that guy, but Jimmy is not that guy.
You put Jimmy.
That's kind of where I'm. Hey, question. So if they hang on to Jimmy G, does that basically mean that they don't believe in Trey Lance?
No.
Because you got Trey Lance sitting in the wings. How's he gonna get experience? How's he ever gonna be able to do anything if you don't give him playing time? So that means you don't believe in Trey Lance. Or you believe that if you go with Trey Lance, you're gonna have to go to rebuild mode because he can't carry the team, and you don't want to carry all the cap if you know he can't do it. I mean, either you believe it or
you see that in Kyle Shanahan's system, he don't really need a quarterback to carry the team.
So you took Trey Lance at that high level for
he
nothing.
just need a quarterback who can play through that system and do not turn the ball over and make the right plays.
So basically, they drafted their Jimmy G too high, or they drafted Trey Lance too high. Then
No. How long did Aaron Rodgers sit behind Brett Favre? He sat 3 years before he got his shot. It does not mean that Aaron Rodgers.
So now Trey Lance so all of a sudden Trey Lance became Aaron Rodgers.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying it doesn't mean that.
Okay, I didn't know that Trey Lance all of a sudden became Aaron Rodgers. Okay, well, damn hell.
Trey Lance could be ready next year, but when you have a quarterback that is perfecting your system,
we're so quick to compare people. We're so quick to compare people.
You didn't compare him, Jade.
I'm comparing him to the situation.
No, he did. Well, how long did Aaron Rodgers sit behind this guy? Well, okay.
He compared the situation.
I'm comparing the situation. Aaron Rodgers could have started in Green Bay his second year. But because
I guess you're going to let Trey Lance over there collect dust and not get any experience and not really know what because nobody knows what Trey Lance can really do. They don't know what he can do because he don't get no play time.
I understand that, but Aaron Rodgers, like I was saying, he could have started in year 2. Trey Lance might be able to start next year. We don't know. But if you have a quarterback that is perfecting the system that Kyle Shanahan has in place right now, you can't move on from him at this point because when Lance becomes the starter, that offense is going to have to be designed differently because Lance has a different skill set than Jimmy Garoppolo. And as long as you have what you have right now, you have to stick with Jimmy Garoppolo because that's the system that you've built your offense around right now.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, they're going to have to stick with Jimmy Garoppolo for a really long damn time.
He's got 1 year left on his deal before they can get rid of him.
And then, so 1 year left, and then what? So are they going to be? You're saying they resign him then and keep putting Trey Lance off? I don't think.
I think Jimmy gets 1 more year, and then I think it's Trey Lance's after that. I think Jimmy's last year with the 49ers is next year, regardless of what they do, and then they commit to Lance after that.
I'm just going to call it right now. I'm going to get this out there ahead of time. Jimmy G next year will not go to the Super Bowl. Let me just go ahead and get that out there right now.
That's not how I think.
I just want to be on record. I just want to be on record that Jimmy G does not go to the Super Bowl next year, and they're still in the same situation they're in right now with Trey Lance another year in the tube.
I will say this, you guys, and credit it could be the system, but what we've seen in San Francisco is this dude helped them win. And one thing I've seen in Dallas is Dak do not help Dallas win. We have not.
Why does this always go back to Dallas? How are you talking about Dallas right now?
I said I would rather have Jimmy G than Dak Prescott because he is a winner. This guy's already been.
Jimmy G's a winner? Jimmy G's a winner?
Yeah.
That's not like Jimmy's sitting on the couch.
This guy is a winner. This guy's been to a Super Bowl.
Jimmy G's on the couch. How's that a winner?
This guy's been to a Super Bowl. He was one game yesterday away from another.
Oh, come on, Freddie. Come on, Freddie.
Jay, no. The Jimmy G gets so much slander, but
stay on planet Earth for a minute. You tell me Jimmy G's a winner, but he on the couch. That last time I checked, the pack for the alternates is in the freaking ladies' room. There's no point for second place.
Tom Brady's a winner, and he's on the couch right now.
Hey, that's Tom Brady. Are we? Oh, really, Dustin? Are we going there?
I'm just saying.
Are we going there, Dustin?
Hey, Tom Brady is a winner.
And, hey, I get it. Dak is on the couch. I never said Dak wasn't on the couch. I don't know how Dallas always comes back into this, man. Listen.
I should have did this.
Hey, do you see how hard it is to be a Cowboys fan? Because no matter what, man, even when we're not talking about the Cowboys, we're talking about the Cowboys.
Yeah, I gotta ask you a question.
Out the Cowboys.
So, you're ask you a
question.
In
your head, though.
Yeah, hold on. I gotta ask you
in your head.
What sounds better? Okay. 71% winning percentage. 132 attempts, 80 completions to a 60 percentage. That's in playoffs. Another person, 146 attempts, 89 completions, 61% percentage, passing rate, Which one sounds better?
Freddie, I get where you're going with this.
You
I
quiet,
get where
Jay.
you're going, but I cannot in good faith say that Jimmy G is a better fit for Dallas than Dak. I can't do it because I've seen too many times that the 49ers have won in spite of him. He's not the main reason they win. He's just a great manager of the game. I'll give him that. He won't throw away the game. He won't throw it away. But the problem is sometimes he won't throw it all.
Yeah. That's a point there. I mean, Jimmy G, he is a good game manager. Jimmy G is a game manager quarterback.
There's nothing wrong with
Now, has he won more games than Dak in the playoffs and all that? Yes. But now if you switch teams, if Dak is with the 49ers, does he win more playoff games? Yeah, it's possible. But they're gonna stick with Jimmy G for his last season. Now, if they start off next year 1-3 and 1-4, then yeah, you're gonna see Trey Lance in there, definitely. But they're gonna start the season with Jimmy G as their starter.
All right, let's move to the next.
Yeah, by the way, I think the problem with Dallas isn't so much Dak. I mean, Dak has to own his part of it as well. But a lot of Dallas though is still the coaching and the culture there. I think they. I don't
blame coach.
No, a lot of it is the coach. Listen, I'm telling you right now. I never believed in Mike McCarthy. I'm not a Mike McCarthy supporter. I hate that hire.
How many?
I hate that hire. No, I hate it. I hate that hire. And I don't know if I really believe in Kellen Moore. I don't know if I don't like the fact that they had and maybe Kellen Moore is a good guy, but maybe McCarthy is overriding some of his play calls. But I'm not a Mike McCarthy guy. I never have been. I'm more of a Brian Flores or maybe even a Sean Payton type of guy.
So y'all get Sean Payton. Y'all had the same results.
And still lose.
Are they gonna start blaming the players?
I don't think we lose to Sean Payton. I don't think we lose to Sean Payton.
Are we going?
Sean Payton can develop quarterbacks. We've already seen that with Jameis Winston. Look, Sean Payton resurrected Jameis Winston, right? He got him back, and he was doing well until he got hurt. I think what he did for Winston, he can also do for Dak, and I think that he could get that team back up and running and going well.
So let's move to the next topic because I just want to remind everybody we're going to take a quick commercial break. But as we take this commercial break, just remember that Patrick Mahomes is not an elite quarterback. He's not an elite quarterback. That's what my brother David McLovin came over here this morning and told us.
Hot take.
That's hot take.
And Jimmy G's the best thing since sliced bread. Wow, that was.
This is the Fox D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at foxdnetwork.com.
Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. Whole sports all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. Sport all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports all plays. All sports all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports all plays. All sports all plays.
We are back. 8 o'clock in the morning. Like you see at the bottom, you can find us on Roku TV, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Apple TV, and Tiki Live. So, unfortunately, we have to go there. You know, we just had a hype show. We started out the show really well, I would say. We've heard a lot of great things. We've heard Patrick Mahomes not elite. We've heard I'll take Jimmy G over Dak Prescott. We've heard, Joe Burrow is the GOAT. We've heard all this. But we need to talk about the real thing. We heard some things, and let's be fairly fair on this. We don't know if this is 100% true, um, but it's been reported by ESPN, CBS, and all major um, sports outlets. Tom Brady is retiring. Now, since then, give credit to them. Tom Brady's dad did come out and say that he has not made a decision yet, or anything like that. Me personally, I just think he kind of upset because they didn't they didn't put out the information. I do believe Tom Brady is retiring, but that's what came out this weekend. So, Dustin, give us your reaction.
I think I don't know if he's officially announced anything yet.
Hold on.
Yep.
Hold on. Sir, I didn't say that. I didn't say Patrick Mahomes was not elite. It was Jay McLovin. Not me.
That guy in the corner.
All right, go ahead, Dustin.
I don't think he's officially announced anything to anybody yet, but I do think he is going to retire. And the only reason why I say that is for the first time in his 22 years as a professional, he's pulled the family card. And when you pull the family card after your season is over, that's pretty much when you get to the point and you're realizing that there's other things in life more important than football. Because every time you hear Tom Brady talk about retiring or anything like that, he always says, when I don't feel competitive or when I don't feel like I can do this anymore, that's when I'm going to hang it up. He's never, ever once used the family card. And now you hear that his wife doesn't want him to take the hits that he took anymore on that against the Rams, and he wants to be the dad that his kids deserve to have. When you start hearing those out of his mouth, that's kind of when you get to the reality that the end might actually be happening, because now he is starting to focus on that next chapter, which involves not being on a football field anymore.
And as you guys can see in the comments, Clarence is woken up and he's in second heaven. He's at 7-Eleven right now. He's happy that his Bengals are relevant around this time of year. Jay, give me your reaction.
Yeah, man, I couldn't believe it. And when I first heard it, it kind of threw me aback because I really didn't think that Patrick Mahomes. I'm still talking about Patrick Mahomes. I didn't think that Tom Brady would necessarily go out in the divisional round. I thought he would, make another run back to, go a little further than that. But yeah, man, it's hard to believe, man. But at the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do for family. I understand that, and he's gonna be missed.
So let me guess, since he lost in the divisional round, he's no longer the GOAT?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Hey, don't speak for me. Don't speak for me, man. I don't know himself. You just stay over there. Listen, you got your Patrick Mahomes free hat. Just relax.
I just had to ask a question. I was just wondering.
You got your free hat.
What a sad day. I know we haven't known each other long, but from the time that I've got to know you guys, you know that Tom Brady is my guy. I ride or die with Tom. I agree with Skip Bayless. The one man in sports I do not bet against, and Tom Brady has won me a lot of money in my day. Sad day. You know it was coming. Statement I said earlier in the show, we're starting to feel old now, right? That we actually about to see the GOAT Tom Brady possibly retire. I don't think right now it's more about rings as opposed to family. As we see, COVID around us, we see all these celebrities passing away. I think to somebody like Tom Brady, it kind of put things into perspective. You see your kids getting older, things that you miss due to football, not being there with your wife. So I can completely understand, but what a hell of a career. 7 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowl MVPs. The man has done it all. Led the league in touchdowns all time. Led the league in passing yards all time. The guy is the true definition of a winner. If you look in the dictionary and you search for the word winner, I'm pretty sure there's a picture of Tom Brady with his 7 fingers up, letting you know that he's done something that's pretty much impossible. We all just agreed earlier. It is very hard to go to a Super Bowl in the NFL, let alone consecutive Super Bowls. The man went to 10 of them and won 7. So that's just a true testament to who he was as a player and his dedication and discipline to the game. And he's gonna be missed, like Jay said, man. We're gonna miss the hell out of Tom Edward Patrick Brady Jr.
All right, Greg. What's your reaction?
Well, you kind of saw it coming when Brady started talking about family and wanting to be home and all that. That's when I knew. I said, "Well, this is probably gonna be it." Um, if that's what it is, then look, Tom Brady has had a beyond awesome career for a 6th-round draft pick. He's the best 6th-round draft pick ever. It's hard it's hard to get to a Super Bowl. It's hard to and he got to 10. He won 7. Will we ever see anything like that ever again? Probably not. Mahomes was the only one that really had a chance at it. Still might, but it's hard to get to 10 of those, man. It's hard. So we'll probably never see that, ever. But he is the greatest quarterback that ever played football, definitely. He transformed the whole franchise. The Patriots were just an average franchise before he got there. And he transformed it to one of the best franchises in the league. So awesome job by Tom. He won the Super Bowl down in Tampa in his first season. So he's the best competitor we'll probably ever see play.
Psycho Tom.
Yeah, Psycho Tom.
Psycho Tom.
I want to give your favorite Tom Brady memory moment or anything like that.
Well,
go ahead. Go ahead, Greg. You're nervous.
Okay. I was gonna say for me, the first Super Bowl that he won against the Rams, that game-winning drive, because everybody was saying, "Hey, just go to overtime. It's cool. We'll just go to the overtime." And he was like, "No, we're not gonna go to overtime. We're gonna win this game." And that's when the legacy began of Tom Brady in that Super Bowl against the Rams. And you saw how cool he was under pressure. And the way he just got down there, got him in field goal range, and then, Vinatieri hit it. That was when he arrived at that point. So that was my favorite memory.
I agree with Standard. ATL was mine to get down by those many points, and him still going out there being Tom Brady, being composed, and like, hey, we've been here before. We know what we're doing, and just going out there and handling their business, and to make that comeback, that was very special.
True.
Yeah, so, I have to agree that Atlanta one.
Yeah, Atlanta was stupid. That was
31 points in the second half, including overtime. I mean, I remember just because it was special to me because I won a lot of money that game. And I remember the person I was betting against was on my phone. Like, man, you better pay me, bro. It's over with. It's over with. And I remember seeing people leave it, and just to see that comeback and the way that the tables turned, I was like, "Are you panicking yet?" I remember texting this phone, "Are you panicking yet? I expect my payment early, like you requested, sir." and
Yeah,
just
and Atlanta made the classic mistake. They came out in the first half with all that defensive pressure on Tom, and then they came out the second half and they took their foot off the gas, and they took the defensive pressure off of Tom, and then he just picked them apart like in classic Brady fashion.
Cranston session real quick.
I think my favorite memory was the second Super Bowl that Seattle was in when they gave the ball to Marshawn Lynch, instead of giving the ball to Marshawn Lynch, they threw it from the 1 yard line when Butler picked it off, and you could just see Tom Brady's reaction on the sideline, like they threw it, and like at that point, it's just like no matter what people try to do, you cannot beat him in the Super Bowl if you try.
Hey, to Gridiron Yuki, I am not a gambler. I am like the ancient Chinese say, I take calculated risk. But man, we're gonna miss Tom Brady, man. I mean, you can just think about so many moments, the great rivalry with Peyton Manning, in those classic AFC championship games, those classic regular season games. I mean, anytime the Colts and the Patriots lined up against each other, we knew we were in for an instant classic. Just to see him get from under Belichick and to go to the Buccaneers on his first year and bring that city that championship glory. I mean, Tom Brady just the ultimate winner, ultimate competitor, ultimate winner. We hope it's not over, but we won't blame him if he decides to finally pack it up and go home.
So I got a question, and because somebody was talking on one show, and I completely disagreed with it. The question was, do you guys think? Well, let's answer Anthony's question first. He asked, "What is everybody's top 3 elite quarterbacks?"
Like right now or all time? Right now or all time?
Anthony, you talking right now or all time? I really want to give an answer to this because it's just funny to our conversation as earlier. I would just not. Hey, somebody please don't say that man's name because we don't want to see Jay McLevin have a heart attack on the morning show. We don't want to see that. No. So he said right now 2000s.
Okay.
So he said right now.
Right now.
Okay.
Well, I still get to include Tom. He's not.
I would say Mahomes, Rodgers, Allen in that order.
Okay. I would say Mahomes, Josh Allen. You can go ahead and put Burrow up there third.
Yeah.
Am I still allowed to use Brady?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say.
Okay. So I have to go Tom Brady. I have to go Pat Mahomes, and then I still, it pains me to say, but I still have to say Aaron Rodgers. I don't see any other quarterback who's done more as of yet than Aaron Rodgers. Even though Josh Allen is up there, and Matthew Stafford has proven himself, but Brady, Mahomes, and Rodgers, right now, I think that's your creme de la creme of the quarterback crop. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, if we're including Brady in this conversation, which I think we still should because he did finish out the year, then I definitely have Brady as number 1. And I would put Patrick Mahomes at number 2. And then for me, I don't know, man. I'm just not a big believer in Aaron Rodgers. I'm just not, man. I know he's a great regular season quarterback, and he does have one Super Bowl to his name. But man, I'm passing the torch. I'm passing the torch to Allen. I got Allen at number 3.
Hey, you can't be mad at Josh Allen. You can't be mad. I mean, after the way he showed out in that game against the Chiefs.
Oh yeah, and you know what? The funny thing about it is, I'll tell you. You know what makes me feel really good about Tom Brady retiring? Not that I want to see him keep staying. Everybody wants to keep Tom around, but Tom's more.
No, what are we not going to do?
Y'all no, stop it. Stop it. You don't even know where I'm going, Freddie. You don't know where I'm going, so stop, Freddie. Stop. Just stop. What I'm saying is, but it's good to see that the league is in good hands. We have good competitive quarterbacks to carry on, the football league, so it's sad to see Tom go, but we all have a time, and when it's his time, it's his time. And it's good to see that the league is in really good shape with a lot of really good talented quarterbacks carrying on the torch.
Nobody answered this question correctly, by the way, because I don't know how the hell Josh Allen name is brought up in this topic. The question was in the 2000s, not the 2020s, the 2000s. Where's Peyton Manning's name at? Where's
if we're going to do that.
We're doing all time.
We were doing like right now. Shit.
If we're doing that, I go Brady, Manning, Breeze.
Yeah, that's a big change. And I'm going Brady, Manning, Breeze in that order as well.
Yeah. And I'm going Brady, Manning,
I'm going Rodgers.
Yeah, Brady, Manning, Breeze.
Yeah, Brady, Manning, Breeze. It's hard. I mean, Breeze that broke all the records. Tom Brady kind of got some of those records because of longevity. I mean, Breeze was just doing things, especially at his height, we hadn't seen. You know what I mean? So it's hard not to put Breeze in that conversation.
You could even argue that Breeze would be number 2 over Manning.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, because he was better in the playoffs. Yeah.
But Peyton Manning was just such a dog on, able to audible plays and the way he was able to read defenses and adjust his team. I mean,
I'm telling you, man, people don't give Manning nowhere near the respect that he deserves, man. People disrespect him all the time.
I want to get a shirt that says Omaha. So.
Yeah, the thing that hurts Peyton is getting bounced in the first round all those times, and then not only that, losing that Super Bowl 43-8 against Seattle. That's the reason why.
Yeah,
people don't talk of him as highly as the other quarterback.
Brady. Yeah.
So, Patrick Mahomes not elite. I just want to keep throwing that out there because that's just.
Hey, you might as well just keep throwing out Jimmy Garoppolo is the best thing since sliced bread. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Freddie has a Jimmy Garoppolo hat in his closet just so he can bring it out for special occasions.
Jay, I'm not supposed to laugh hard right now due to my sickness because it makes me hurt, but good try.
Get well soon, brother. Get well soon.
I appreciate that. I kind of want to transition to another topic. We wasn't supposed to talk about it, but it's going to help us transition to the next topic. Brian DeBall just got had his first day, just pulled up for the first day of the Giants. We got a new general manager. So the Giants, the Mara family is going in there and say, okay, it's time to retool, time to rebuild this organization, how we do things, the players that we bring in, and stuff like that. Appreciate that, Gradient. Do you guys think with the new general manager, by bringing in the ball, this could change the New York Giants? And I'm going to say this. I really believe so. I really, really, really do. And I'm going to tell you why. It's because please listen to me before I say this. I'm not comparing Daniel Jones to this player.
I think you're on the same thought process as what I've said about it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's going to ever be as good as this player or anything like that. These guys have helped develop Josh Allen.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. He helped them turn him into the player that he is today. Daniel Jones have similar playing styles as Josh Allen. He likes to run with the football, and he can throw. If the Giants put an old line in front of Daniel Jones, I believe these two can make it work with the combination of a Saquon Barkley. So this gives them something to build with.
Man,
That's all I'm saying.
Saquon Barkley already planning on his next injury. What are you talking about?
And what's up, Pride? And we said don't sleep on the Giants next season along with the Bears. I keep trying to tell folks. And no, they got the coaching right. What's up, Kenny? Hey, DeBall, I believe he'll be a good coach. I mean, hey, just look what he did in Buffalo. Stat, you want to roll with this one?
I said it since the Giants hired Joe Shane as their GM that this was kind of the most obvious hire for them, basically to bring in Brian Daboll from Buffalo because they worked together for 3 or 4 years in Buffalo. So if you're going to have a guy from Buffalo come over, you might as well bring in the offensive coordinator that you're so familiar with also, and it's just very easy transition. To Freddie's point, I've been saying the same thing for a while now that Brian Daboll basically transformed Josh Allen and kind of untapped his true potential and developed him into the quarterback he is right now. Because if you look at Josh Allen's first 2 years, they were not great. They were not great at all, but his last 2 years have been outstanding, and you have to credit Brian Daboll because of that. Daniel Jones plays very similar to Josh Allen, maybe not at the same level, but if Brian Daboll can come in there and figure some things out with Daniel Jones, you could be having the conversation that Daniel Jones is a franchise quarterback with the right head coach. You also have to look at that Daboll is also very high on Mitch Trubisky. Could that open the door for Mitch Trubisky to sign a 3-year deal with the Giants and maybe get another starting job if things do not work out with Daniel Jones?
No.
Mike Hughes is loving to hear that one.
But either way, I do like the hire for the Giants for the sole reason that we saw what Josh Allen was and we saw where Josh Allen is now. We've seen what Daniel Jones has looked like his first couple of years. Maybe Daniel Jones does have a lot more left that nobody knows about because he hasn't had an offensive-minded coach like Daboll, and possibly getting him there could untap that potential.
I mean, is Daniel Jones I can't really say that. I know he's been injured for the past couple of seasons, but just looking at these numbers and comparing them to Josh Allen numbers, even though Josh Allen wasn't that good his first couple of years, you can see that potential. I don't think Daniel Jones has really shown us he's the guy.
You gotta remember
Daniel Jones, though. Hey, they're going to get him a bargain basement price.
Where were the Giants this year before Daniel Jones got hurt? The Giants were sitting at 4-7 and only one game out of the playoff picture, and they won one game the rest of the year after Daniel Jones got hurt. So the Giants were not playing that bad the first couple months of the season, and Daniel Jones was keeping them in the games.
I get you, but that's a shame that we look at not having a winning record. You're saying he's sitting at 4-7, and we're applying that. That's what I'm saying. Even if the Giants were playing better football than what they have in the past, they still suck.
I don't think the Daboll hire is a bad hire, but I think, in my opinion, that with the amount of rebuilding that Giants need to go through, or restructuring they need to go through to become really competitive again, I just think Flores would have been a much better fit there. But
yeah, you act like we got a lot of we don't have a lot to rebuild.
Oh God, okay, man, you're right. My bad. You're right. Galladay, garbage, overpaid. Saquon Barkley can't stay off the injury list, overpaid. And then you got the cheap ass Daniel Jones that you better. Which I mean, honestly, for cap purposes, I would probably keep Daniel Jones just for the cap purposes because you're in cap hell. So yeah, you're not doing too good over there, Freddie. But don't worry about it because you got your Patrick Mahomes hat, and you can always wear that one when the Giants don't do well. It's okay.
And the Aaron Rodgers hat on standby.
And the Aaron Rodgers hat on standby with the sock order of Tom Brady.
Here's something that not a lot of people realize about Daniel Jones either.
Yeah, hey, hold on. Freddie said, "Hey, can I get a Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers combo plate, please?"
Let's let that guy talk, please.
As a rookie, Daniel Jones completed 62% of his passes and threw 24 touchdowns.
Yeah,
That was the most touchdown passes among rookie quarterbacks in his class. He only threw 12 interceptions that year, so he didn't play that bad. Up until this year, he had 24 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in the red zone his first 2 years. So when he got in the red zone, he didn't make mistakes. It was all the mistakes he made prior to getting to the red zone. But when he gets inside the red zone, he takes care of the football and scores points. And
Which
that's
is
why
why,
having a head
to your
coach that
point,
knows
I
when
think they get to your point though. I think they get Daniel Jones at a cheap price, and hopefully, maybe they, like you said, maybe Dable can work with him and put him on the right path and get So yeah, they get him at a cheap price, and they need a cheap price because their cap is horrible. So you need a cap-friendly quarterback.
You get 2 more years with Daniel Jones. Basically, he's got his final year of his rookie year this year, and then he's got the option for next year. So you get 2 years with Daniel Jones right now to see what you have in him long term.
But speaking of taking care of the ball,
when I say the Giants don't have much to work on, they do got things to work on. The main priority this offseason need to be offensive line. If they get an O-line, they already have the weapons, then we can finally see, okay, Daniel Jones, what do you have? Because he have weapons around him. He do have a Galladay.
His weapons are in the infirmary.
Jay McLevin.
I'm just saying, hey, I got weapons, but they're on the IR.
So, like I was saying, if you get an O-line in front of Daniel Jones, he do have a Kadarius Toney, he do have a Galladay, he do have a Sterling Shepard, he do have a Kyle Rudolph, an Evan Ingram, and a Saquon Barkley. Will you give him an offensive line, give him a time to protect him, and see if he can get the ball out to those guys and then start to translate to wins? Hey, because I do believe the defense won't be as bad as it was this year, and I believe a lot of that had to be because they was on the field more than anything this year. So that's all I'm saying.
Well, you definitely want to protect them from getting hit. You want to protect them from getting hit because, I mean, speaking of taking care of the ball, he fumbled 30 times and 12 of them was recovered. So, I mean, by the Giants. So, the guy can't keep the ball in his hand. So, whether or not he's perfect in the red zone, that's neither here nor there. We're talking about a guy who's not perfect leading up to the red zone, and he can't keep his hand on the ball.
And
I mean, are you ready to risk it all for Daniel Jones?
I sure am. Give me Danny Dime.
Hey, Freddie says that, bro, because he's got his backup teams. Freddie always got one in the pocket. So it don't matter. It don't matter. If it pans out, Freddie looks like a genius. If it pans out, Freddie looks like a genius. And if it don't pan out, then he goes to his number 2 team.
I understand, because I'm a person like that. I go for my home team. I'm always Chicago Bulls, Chicago Bears. Yeah, I have favorite players, Tom Brady. If you go to in the NBA, Steph Curry. I'm a fan of the Warriors because of Steph Curry. So I get having multiple teams that you root for. Freddie, is the Giants? Is this your team that you ride with?
That's the only team I ride with. The only team. The only one and only. But I do ride with Aaron Rodgers.
I get you, and I can't get mad at that.
Brian Daboll, I don't think that's going to work out just because I've seen when he was with the Chiefs, Brian Daboll sucked during the Matt Castle days. But look, did he do a wonders with Josh Allen? Sure, he did. But I'm not sure how that's going to work out. With them being with the Giants, they're gonna have to move past Daniel Jones. I know he had a decent rookie season and all that, and I'm not saying that he's sorry or nothing, like he can't be in the league, but they're not gonna win Super Bowls with Daniel Jones as their quarterback. They have to move on from that.
And like I was saying before, Jay McLevin interrupted.
Hey, I think Garoppolo's out there available. You should probably
like I was saying, Jay wants to have multiple teams, but nobody ever go about him but his NBA. He's a Houston Rocket fan, but he be rooting for Dallas. He rooting for Spurs. He rooting for all Texas NBA teams. So, but he don't want to ever throw that out there. But I just had to throw that out there. He claims to be a Houston Texan fan, but he rocks with the Spurs and Dallas Mavericks. That's your dude, Jay McLovin. Had to put the sauce on him this morning. Sorry, you forced me to. Next topic. Yesterday we saw Josh McDaniel. He went to the Raiders, right?
Yeah.
He's the new head coach of the Raiders. Hey, we've been always wondering if he's ever going to leave Bill Belichick for years. Hey, the time has finally came. All right, Greg, have a good rest of your day, man. The time has finally came, and it has happened. What is you guys' reaction to that?
Honestly, shocking for that, but because of that scenario, there's another interesting scenario that's actually starting to gain a ton of traction. We heard Jim Harbaugh's name pretty much linked to the Raiders from day one, where if he made the jump to the NFL, it was the Raiders or pretty much nothing. Jim Harbaugh interviewed with the Vikings yesterday, and now it appears that Jim Harbaugh is very close to signing a deal with the Vikings to be the Vikings' new head coach.
Wait, what?
So obviously something has transpired in the last 72 hours to basically move on completely from the Raiders to now looking at Minnesota and says, I will come to Minnesota and coach if you can give me a good offer.
Wow. I mean, I was shocked about the Josh McDaniel thing. I mean, as long as he's been with Coach Belichick, you know, everybody thought he was being groomed to eventually take over that role. So for him to step out on his own and to prove his merit, I wish the best for him because I saw what he can do, you know, when he has the talent around him and the pieces to put into place. Josh McDaniels he's a hell of a play caller. Especially being because Belichick took over the defense. He let Josh McDaniels, hey, this is your offense, you do your thing. So I think Josh McDaniels is going to do a great job with the Raiders. I'm excited to see. I feel so bad for the Raiders because they went through so many crazy fiascos during the regular season. If you look at the Gooden Gruden thing, if you look at the receiver that got into the trouble and everything like that, so hopefully the Raiders are able to turn it around. David Carr stepped up. Derek Carr, stepped up and proved that he's a great quarterback in his league. So I'm excited to see what McDaniels can do, especially with a quarterback like Carr, and what they can do with that offense in Las Vegas.
Hey, real quick, you know, Dustin is an anomaly. He's an anomaly. I say that because to be a Vikings fan and live in Wisconsin, you don't see that very often. No, for real. Hey, listen, I lived in Wisconsin. They hate Minnesota. They hate Minnesota with like a passion. So to actually live in that state and not that you have a target on your back. I know you're not wearing that Minnesota garb in Wisconsin. You walk out in public with it on?
Oh yeah.
You're a brave man.
I wear the Brett Favre jersey. Brett Favre Minnesota jersey.
I dare you to wear a Minnesota. Hey, I dare you to wear a Minnesota Vikings jersey. Go into a bar and say Brett Favre sucks.
I would never say that. Brett Favre is amazing.
Hey, you'll get a couple of punches in there. I'm trust me. I know.
Brett Favre played for Minnesota as well, correct?
What was that?
I was asking.
Brett Favre went to Minnesota.
You do realize Brett Favre played for Minnesota as well, right?
Yeah, that's why I have the Brett Favre Minnesota jersey that I walk around in Wisconsin with.
Yeah, so
you can kind of play it safe having a Favre as long as Favre is on the back of the jersey. They do have a loyalty to him. So you're not really completely all the way out the closet over there.
But. Oh, yeah. I got Randy Moss. I got Adrian Peterson. I got everybody.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Good times. Hey, you know, I'll tell you that the Josh McDaniels thing going to the Raiders, you know, when he went to Denver the first go around, obviously it wasn't a very successful time. I think he tried to be too much like Belichick with the Denver. He wasn't himself. But I think if he goes to the Raiders and actually beats Josh McDaniels and not try to be like a Belichick, I think he'll do fine. I think he'll do great there, honestly. But he's going to have to find his own identity and get away from, trying to be like a copycat of Bill Belichick because that's not his style.
He also has a quarterback to work with at the Raiders, though. I mean,
He does.
Derek
He
Carr
does.
is not terrible. I mean, Tim Tebow, well, yeah, we're just going to stop at Tim Tebow and leave it there.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
All right.
Can we go back to that comment a couple of comments ago that brought up the Harbaugh going to Minnesota and if I'd be happy about it? Yes, I would be ecstatic because the guy is 44-19 as an NFL head coach. Went to 3 straight NFC Championship games with Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick as your quarterback. Kirk Cousins is better than both of them. He's also got a .675 winning percentage as a college head coach. The guy knows what he's doing. It doesn't matter if he's at college. It doesn't matter if he's in the pros. He knows what he's doing as a head coach. He would build an incredible staff because there's tons of people that want to work with him, and there's tons of people that want to play with him. So, yes, I would be ecstatic if he went there.
So let's do a little college. Let's jump into college a little bit. They have this. I'm gonna let Dustin explain it. Dustin explained it a lot better than I can. So, Dustin, you have.
So, for anybody that watches college football, you've seen like the old transfer rules where if you would transfer, you'd have to sit a year, and then your new team basically would have you for a year before you could play in this and that. But now this whole new transfer portal that was put in play a couple of years ago, college football is starting to act like free agency in the NFL at this point where players are just leaving teams just because they want to leave teams and are basically scurrying the market for their next great opportunity. Most recently, you have Caleb Williams, the quarterback that stepped in for Spencer Rattler last year at Oklahoma. After having a great season with Oklahoma, he decides that he wants to hit the transfer portal now because Lincoln Riley went to USC. So instead of just staying the man in charge in Oklahoma, well, now you're hitting the transfer portal, and some team in the country is going to get a top 3 quarterback added to their roster next year. I used to be against this whole transfer portal, especially when you look at the whole Tate Martell situation where he basically just kept jumping from university to university because he couldn't start over who was in front of him. And it got to the point where I felt like he was giving up and not working for what he wanted. But I kind of like the way the transfer portal is now where players don't have to sit that year after they transfer. I kind of like it that you're getting more of this, not really popularity, because you would think that Alabama and Clemson are the ones that are getting all these top transfers, and they're actually not. It's other schools that are landing these players just because they want an opportunity somewhere else to see if they can start. I love the fact that Williams came in for Rattler, stepped in for Rattler, and had so much success. But now both Rattler and Williams are leaving Oklahoma because their coach is at USC now. Rattler, I believe, went to South Carolina, and Williams is down to Notre Dame, USC, and Wisconsin as his top 3 choices for next year. I think NCAA basketball is going to kind of follow this landscape in the next couple of years. They have transfers as well, but a lot of their transfers are kind of graduate transfers that really don't have much to play for at that point. But I think college basketball is going to start following this whole transfer portal as well because it's paving the way for a lot of these universities. If you missed out on a 5-star recruit 2 years ago, doesn't mean you're not going to have another crack at them again, because as soon as they enter that transfer portal, it's basically recruiting season all over again where you got to recruit them to come back to your university.
Me personally, I have no problem with it. I like the idea. I love it. And the reason why I say that is because now we get to see a primetime Deion Sanders. We get to see a Nick Saban. We get to see coaches come out and see, okay, I believe in you, kid. Hey, I believe that I can change your career. Hey, I believe I can, I think I can turn you into something. I believe I can make you a pro. Then these players going to say, okay, hey, so we're going to see who. When we talk about recruiting, we're going to see who's the best at recruiting, in the coaching field. So I have no problem with it. And I will say this, Jay McLevin, if I was you as a Cowboy fan, if you can't get a Sean Payton as your coach next year, I would definitely look at a prime Deion Sanders. I'm just saying.
I think Deion would do good. So, I think he's creative. I think Deion Sanders is creative, and I think he could command the locker room. It'd be interesting to see how well he does coaching on the pro level. But yeah, I can see a Deion Sanders. I'm not opposed to it. I tell you what, it's better than Mike McCarthy, which I absolutely hate.
Well, I think when it comes to a Deion Sanders play, he's gonna garnish that respect from players because he's done it and did it on the highest of levels. He made the Cowboys winners. He can do it on special teams. He can do it on defense. If you ask a lot of NFL receivers today, they think he could have been a hell of an NFL receiver had he wanted to. So, to know that Prime is not telling you to do something that he wouldn't have done in his career, and to see what he's done with these college kids. I mean, taking these kids and making HBCUs relevant again, and setting the stage, and they're actually winning. And like Michael Irvin said, Deion is a true leader of men. That's a quality a lot of coaches don't have. Like, yeah, you can call plays, but can you lead men? Can you get men to rally behind you and follow the calls and everybody be on the same page? And I believe Deion can do that, especially for that Cowboys organization.
Yep.
I mean, if you look at what he's done in his first 2 years at Jackson State, the guy's lost one game in 2 years at Jackson State. He's taken them from the FCS and moved them up to the FBS. Now he's flipping Alabama recruits and flipping Florida State recruits and flipping Oklahoma recruits from those schools and bringing them to Jackson State. So that shows you what the players think of him when they're going into the college circuit, and that shows you what the NCAA landscape thinks of him, just because he's already been rumored to have the Florida State job in his hands next year if he wants it. So obviously there's a respect factor that the players can see in him. They believe that he can make them winners. And now you're starting to see that just top down, where how many years ago would you have ever heard the top recruit in the country leaving Alabama for Jackson State? That would have never happened.
Never happened.
But the fact that Deion Sanders is at Jackson State and watching what he's done in 2 years with Jackson State, people believe that he can do that at the FBS. So now they're like, you know what? Why go to Alabama when I might have to sit the first year and not play? Why not come to Jackson State where I can start right away and see what we can do?
Not to mention, he's doing a lot for them off the field. I mean, I saw a video in which he bought Brittany Renner. If you guys don't know, she's a famous Instagram model. But he bought her in there to explain to the guys about how they're out for your money. Like, they know who you are. They understand who they are, but they know who you are. They know what school you play for. They know your prospects on if you could possibly get into the NFL and get some big time paper. So, he does, what he does as an overall leader is just unmatched. I mean, you would love to come home and see Coach Prime sitting on the couch with your mom or with your father, having a glass of lemonade, discussing your future. You've made it, so I'm just so happy for him because he's always considered himself a coach. And to see now he's starting to get that recognition, and great stat, by the way, Dustin, about, only losing one game. That's just a credit to how he's getting everybody on the same page, man. Coach Prime, man, it's amazing. And I'm proud of him as a black man just to see that light being shined on historically black colleges and universities.
Mm-hmm. So, Anthony asked and Dustin, are they switching schools for a better draft class?
Not necessarily. I mean, you look at programs like Alabama, Bryce Young, Tua Tagovailoa, Jalen Hurts, and all those guys that were there. Jalen Hurts was the third or fourth quarterback on that depth chart when Alabama recruited him. And the only way that he was going to get to play was if he transferred out and went somewhere else. It doesn't mean he's not a great quarterback, and it doesn't mean he's wasn't sitting at practice putting the work in. It's the fact that Alabama had three guys better than him at the same position, so the only opportunity he would have had, barring injury, was to transfer out and try his luck somewhere else. Same thing with like the whole Spencer Rattler and Williams situation at Oklahoma. Spencer Rattler was the number 2 quarterback in the country when Oklahoma recruited him. Williams was the number 5 quarterback in the country when Oklahoma recruited him. It's the fact that Williams plays more of a all-around quarterback game versus Spencer Rattler is a pocket passer. Alabama wanted to build their offense around Rattler because he was a pocket passer, but realized that Williams was a better fit for their offense, and Rattler pretty much knew that. I'm not saying that I'm not better than Williams, but Williams is a better fit in this Oklahoma offense than I am, so if I want to play, I need to go somewhere else. Williams might not trust the new head coach that they're bringing in, so he wants to go somewhere else to give another team that opportunity to have him. A lot of these players, get a bad rap when they transfer out because so many people say, oh, they're transferring out because they don't want to work hard or they're transferring out because of this or because of that. When you're at bigger programs and you have legitimately five-star recruits at one position, how often are you going to be able to play unless you go somewhere else? That it's just the common nature right now in the NCAA. NCAA is all about money, and you obviously know the programs that have the most money are going to have the best recruits. They're going to have the best programs. And a lot of these guys now are starting to realize that maybe being at the best program is not the best option for me because if I don't see the field, what is that going to do for me?
All right, let's play. We got a few more minutes left in the show. We hit all our topics for the day. But let's play a little quick game. I'm going to say something, and we'll let you finish it. By the end of the season, the Golden State Warriors will what? Jay McLevin.
Ooh. No, I think by the end of the season, they're going to be still at the number 2 spot and going into the playoffs.
All right. Hey, Rob, the Cincinnati Bengals will be, and we're going to kind of get your prediction a little early on this one. On February the 14th, they will be what?
They will be losers at the Super Bowl.
Okay.
And that's his 2 cents.
That's my 2 cents, baby.
But for $14.95, you can get the whole dime.
The Chicago Bulls will be the what? Okay, I got it better. The Chicago Bulls will go to what round in the playoffs?
Eastern Conference Finals.
That's what I'm talking about, Dustin. Talk your stuff.
Just dealing with the amount of injuries they dealt with all season long, dealing with how bad they had to deal with COVID and getting the top spot in the Eastern Conference for a good 2 months after going what they went through. At some point, this roster is going to get healthy. And when they get healthy, how many teams have as much trusted depth as Chicago does? Granted, they don't have a lot of the second unit stars that some of these other people have. But when you get guys like Caruso back, Lonzo Ball back, Patrick Williams back, and you pair them with Ayo Dosunmu and Kobe White, the Bulls are legitimately going to have 10 go-to options once the playoffs start, where you have 10 guys that can give you 15 to 20 points a night. There's not too many teams in the league that have that much overall depth where like, oh, Williams, you're struggling today? Well, guess what? I'll pull Caruso off the bench. You come in here and give me 15 points.
Not to mention the defense that's going to come back to this team.
Yeah.
James Robin. The Cowboys in 2022 and 2023 will finally get what right?
Head coach.
So basically, this upcoming season, what do we get right this upcoming season? Well, we didn't get the head coach right. We still kept rolling with Mike McCarthy, so we won't get that right. So I think we finally get Dak Prescott rolling in the right direction and making better throws and not so many turnovers.
That's admirable, but mistaken.
I don't expect a whole lot to change, man. But hey, we still got the same callers, we still got the same coach. So the only thing that can really change is hopefully maybe Dak will limit the turnovers.
I hope the world appreciated my Bane impersonation.
Jay, I'm gonna stay with you. 2022, 2023, Patrick Mahomes will finally get what right?
So next year, jeez, man, he'll finally limit his. Oh, jeez, I don't know what's Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he does do a lot of things right. I think he finally talks to Andy Reid and tells Andy Reid to don't try to go for the touchdown when you only got a few seconds left. Go ahead and kick the field goal. He'll get the field goal last possession thing correct, and also he will limit the interception that he had at the end of the game. He'll get the turnovers and the field goal issues corrected.
In the last few minutes, we'll let the viewers ask us any question they want to ask. And Anthony, Said Freddie, if the Lakers don't make the playoffs or finals, will LeBron come back next year? Yes, LeBron is here to retirement. I mean, stop it. I mean, LeBron is set. LeBron is here. LeBron ain't going nowhere. He's too old in his career. Where it's all about family. It's like Tom Brady said. It's all about family. It's about his kids. His kids play ball out there in L.A. I would be so only way I can see him going somewhere else if he like when he retire, he'll retire one day as a Cleveland Cavalier. That's the only thing I can see. Other than that, he ain't going nowhere. So to all our viewers out there, please throw out some comments, questions that you want ask each one of us. We'll throw it out there to you guys. We're gonna take a little commercial break while you guys are asking your questions, so we can give you our take on it because this is what we do here at the All Sports All Plays Network.
This is the Fox D Streaming Network. Register to come on our channel at foxdnetwork.com.
All right, looks like Kenny got a question. Kenny, if I answer this question right now, and you promise to get off my back, I will give you a true answer to that right now. Just say yes or no. Gideon said, top 5 running backs right now.
Derrick Henry,
Yeah.
Jonathan Taylor,
Yep.
Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey if he can stay healthy, and probably Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
You could probably throw Aaron Jones in there over Christian McCaffrey because at least Aaron Jones can stay healthy.
I think because of the injury issue with McCaffrey, I'm gonna take him off and put in David Montgomery from Chicago, just because of McCaffrey's health issues.
All right, so he said yes if I'm honest. All right. So you guys know the last 2 years me being on the network, I rooted for my Giants. I've also rooted for Aaron Rodgers, my favorite player that I love to watch. But just to get clarity on the situation,
In the arms of an angel.
I am heading into 2022-2023. I am a New York Giants fan only. Only. That's it.
I do you want to stand on that? We'll give you a second chance.
Yeah.
I'm sitting on that, sitting on it, smoking on it.
Because Freddie, let's be honest, there's lots and lots and lots of receipts when it comes to the Packers, and you're used to the word us. I'm just gonna put that out there. It's been factually based.
Well, that receipt I just put out there is way bigger than any other receipt there is, sir.
I'm just saying it's factually based. You can't deny you've used the word us.
Now, Anthony Price asked who will win the next ring in the NFC East. At this point, I think it's the Giants, honestly. The Cowboys and they haven't got it done yet. So
that ain't happening.
I think the Cowboys will get one before they do.
I would say Washington because they have the most cap space of anybody, and they have the best defense where they pretty much just need to add a quarterback.
Well, we can't really say that because their defense wasn't the defense we saw a previous prior.
Well, yeah, Chase Young was out.
Good point.
Yeah, Washington has $32 million in cap space, so they have plenty of money to add to that roster.
Sandra asked, does Eric Spoelstra get any respect if Miami takes number 1 seed and gets their Heat team to the Eastern Conference Finals. Yes, we all know Spoelstra is a great coach. I mean, I don't think nobody will ever say he's not a good coach. Hey, we've seen this man with LeBron, D Wade, Chris Bosh. We've seen him without those guys and still be relevant. So
He's underrated.
I mean,
Yeah.
he already should get respect.
Yeah, he's probably the most underrated coach in the NBA.
Yeah,
I agree.
mean, he took them to the finals in the bubble. I'm talking about during a very trying time. Like a lot of people want to overlook the bubble, and you can't. You have to remember, you're away from family, you're away from
when he's
friends.
saying coach of the year, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think he's gonna get coach of the year. Be in the
he
conversation.
garnishes that respect.
I think the Memphis coach gets the coach of the year.
I think JB Bickerstaff.
Yeah,
Cleveland
JB
Cavaliers.
Bickerstaff in Cleveland, JB
Yeah.
Bickerstaff in Cleveland, or Billy Donovan in Chicago.
Billy Donovan.
Hell no.
Yeah, I mean, what
Y'all
the-
overlooking Memphis. Y'all overlooking Memphis big time. That's all right though.
No, but if Memphis can't get the first or second seed, which 9 times out of 10 probably won't happen, unfortunately, as great a year as they had.
But you got to admit though, the West is really, really tough in the top 3. Like extremely
It's
tough
very
in the top 3.
It's very tough, and Memphis is part of that region. But we're talking coach of the year. If the Bulls or the Heat, are able to get number 1, number 2 seed.
But he's also kept that team relevant at 11-1 without having John Morant when he was hurt.
Yeah, no, 11-2. But I mean,
11-2. I apologize, 11-2.
That's true. But look what the Bulls had to go against. How many different lineups have been out there for the Chicago Bulls, and they're still
33 different lineups Billy Donovan has had to use.
I get it.
And Dustin, static guy. Who's had to use on who's the other team that used the most?
Lakers. Lakers have 36.
Okay. Just go out there.
the Lakers are horrible, Freddie. I'm sorry, but I know that's not the case.
You're right, my brother. You're right. I think we are right now. But guess what? We still got 32 games left in the season.
They do. And I was on this show last week saying that you can't count out LeBron. He's like a Tom Brady. It's like you can't bet against that dude, man.
Yeah. So yeah, we're horrible right now. I agree. Grittian said, "What are your favorite moments of the 21-22 season?" I know Jay don't have many because the Cowboys are horrible this year.
Y'all are funny.
So Robert and Dustin is the only one that really can answer this question.
Dustin, would you like to go first, my brother?
I have a couple of them, so you can go. I got to figure out which one I think is better.
We're talking about just NFL season, correct?
NFL, NBA, whatever you want to go with.
Well, one of my favorite moments so far as NBA, Steph Curry getting the 3-point all-time 3-pointer list, becoming the man, and that seeing Klay Thompson come back, the reception that he got. As I told you guys, I'm a Steph Curry fan, so I pay attention to the Warriors. Seeing the rise of Ja Morant right before our very eyes has been a very pleasant surprise. And, of course, my Chicago Bulls shocking the hell out of everybody, because I'm not going to sit here and say – now, I didn't overlook the DeMar DeRozan deal, but I'm not going to sit here and say I saw this coming. And then as far as NFL, I would have to say my favorite NFL moment so far was seeing the Chiefs game, the Chiefs versus the Bills. That playoff game was just absolutely amazing. That whole weekend of playoff divisional football was amazing. But in particular, that game, Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes going tit for tat, that was my favorite quarterback duel probably of all time.
Hey, I have one. My favorite one was watching Aaron Rodgers get dog spanked by Jimmy Garoppolo out of the playoffs. My second favorite one is watching the Giants land on their backs at the bottom of the division, looking up at my Cowboys. How you like me now?
I had one too as well. And my
third one is I like it that the Lakers are at the bottom feeders and you have nowhere to go but down.
My favorite moment in this season was when I got to see the same Jimmy G who took Aaron Rodgers down. He took the Cowboys down. Showed Dak Prescott why he's a better
Admit, this is
quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers,
Showed
though.
him why.
But this is Aaron Rodgers. This is your
Oh,
God.
Dak
God.
Prescott getting paid. Hey, Dustin, Mr. Stack guy.
In the arms of an
I'm gonna have to make a
angel.
rule that you have to be on the show with me at every show I do because I need a little series to say, Stat guy, how much was Dak Prescott paid?
Hey, for 25 cents, you can adopt a team for Freddie.
Just this year.
35.7 mil.
But how much was the guaranteed though? Let's add the guaranteed to that.
32.8 million.
So we looking at around 70-something million just this year, right?
About that, yeah.
Ooh, and he got bounced out the first round. Oh, my bad. Let's
Hey,
go to
listen,
the
at
next.
least our players are on the field. Yours are in the IR, so I don't want to hear nothing about it.
So
I guess my favorite NBA moment so far this year is basically just seeing the parity in teams that you would not think are typically leading the conference are leading the conference this year, which kind of shows you that the NBA is kind of what the quarterback situation is. The NFL is you're kind of passing the torch to a lot of these younger rosters like Chicago, Memphis, Cleveland, and all these younger teams now are starting to be the ones taking over. And then in the NFL, I'm honestly just going to say Matthew Stafford finally getting the respect that he's deserved and finally getting something that nobody thought he would ever do, being stuck in Detroit for 11 years.
gentlemen, I think we had another great episode of ASAP in the morning.
I agree.
You know, we've heard a lot of hot takes this show. I don't think I need to repeat them, but I think we definitely need to go get the clips on them and save them because we saw a lot of hot takes on.
By the way,
today.
Fred, let me say one thing before you sign us out, because I think you owe me this. You owe me this. I want to clarify because I think this was taken out of context. I was talking about Patrick Mahomes as in the all-time realm, not where we are currently, but in the all-time realm. So let's make sure it's just in context and not out of context. Okay, you can proceed, sir. In the arms of an angel.
Yeah, hey, I'll send you guys out with another stat too.
I'm
Tell you
always down.
Appreciate
So
that.
name
We'll try
one
to.
quarterback that's played since 2000 that has a better record than what you might think.
A
He's got a
quarterback.
he's got a 585 winning percentage, and he was 24-17 as a starter.
He still
Since
plays.
2000?
No, he's not. He doesn't play anymore. But since 2000, he's got a better winning percentage than a lot of quarterbacks in the league at 585.
Since 2000. Oh.
I'll see when he actually retired for you.
Is it Ben?
No.
Now repeat the question again.
Since 2000, this quarterback who retired, I think 10 or 11 years ago, has a better winning percentage than a lot of quarterbacks that are still playing right now. He was 24-17 as a starter since 2000, which comes out to a 585 winning percentage. Played his last game in 2009.
It can't be Drew Brees, Dame, because he's just 10 years.
Yeah.
But he said that you would not normally think
Yes.
or believe.
Played his
Can't
last
be like
game.
a popular guy. It's got to be.
Played his last game in 2009. His last touchdown pass was a 99-yard pass to Bernard Berrien.
The Bernard Berry. 2009. Don't tell me Kyle Orton or something like that.
I'm thinking more like maybe not a Bengals, but
Bernard Berry played for.
he played the Chiefs.
He played with the
Vikings
Bears.
after the Bears. That's
Vikings. Brad Johnson.
No.
Hold on. We're not talking about Jay Cutler, are we?
Nope, he filled in for Tavares Jackson before the Vikings got Favre.
Oh, freaking
Oh, wait.
Is that
I give up.
Carson Palmer, Keith said?
no?
Nope.
No.
Known for headbutting a wall after he ran it in for a touchdown and knocked himself out.
I can't think that far back.
Gus Frerotte was 24-17 as a starter in the 2000s with a .585 winning percentage. That .585 winning percentage is a top 15 winning percentage among quarterbacks who started games since 2000.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought about that. But this is why
my head hurts now. Dustin done made my head hurt.
This is why you're the stat guy. This is why we call you Siri. Better than Alexa. Better than all that.
But not better than Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, this is ASAP in the morning. We got a lot of great shows on the lineup for you today. This evening we have Bring It. Check them out. We have the Sports Sensays, the all-female show there tonight. We have Real Talk. You see a little bit more me, a little bit more hot take. So check out everybody tonight. Show us some love. Give us your reaction, comment, share, follow us. You can follow us on Tiki Live TV, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, Facebook, YouTube, all the good stuff. So just search up ASAP Network, All Sports, All Plays Network. You'll find myself, Jay McLovin, Dustin, Rob here on ASAP in the morning. Until the next time, we are out.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we're making up plays. We're talking the game, get you through the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays.